What's the kindest thing a stranger ever did for you? I was 29, a single dad, working doubles at a diner to keep my 7-year-old son Max in school supplies and sneakers. Sundays were our day. Pancakes, park, maybe a movie if I'd saved enough. But one week my boss begged me to cover a shift. Rent was due and I couldn't say no. I brought Max along, set him up in a corner booth with crayons and a burger, hoping he'd stay quiet. I was bone tired, my feet throbbing, forcing smiles for customers while worrying about Max being bored. That's when I met Ruth, a 74-year-old regular who always ordered coffee, black, and a BLT. She had this no-nonsense vibe, hair in a tight bun, but her eyes were warm. I'd seen her struggle to open ketchup packets, hands shaky from arthritis, so I'd started opening them for her without a word. She'd nod, say, "Good kid," and that was that. One Sunday, Ruth noticed Max sketching in the booth. She shuffled over, asked him about his drawings, and next thing I know, they're swapping stories about superheroes. Max was beaming, rare for a kid who'd been shy since his mom left. As I cleared her table, Ruth slipped me a $10 tip on a $6 bill and said, "You're spread thin, aren't you?" I shrugged, embarrassed. The next week, Max's sitter canceled, and I had to bring him again. Ruth was there, same booth, and waved him over like they were old pals. After my shift, she caught me at the door. "Your boy's a gem, but you look like you're running on fumes. Let me watch him weekdays after school." I stammered. "I can't ask you to do that." She cut me off. "You didn't? I'm telling you. My house is too quiet since my husband passed." I was hesitant, but Ruth wasn't budging. That Monday, I dropped Max at her place. A cozy bungalow with cat figurines everywhere. She had juice boxes, puzzles, and a backyard where Max chased her tabby. It became our routine. I'd work, study for my GED, and pick Max up by 7 p.m. Ruth taught him checkers, fed him homemade soup, even helped with math homework. With her help, I cut my second job, paid off a credit card, and slept more than 4 hours a night. Max started smiling again, calling her Aunt Ruth. 3 months in, Ruth didn't show for her usual BLT. I called, got no answer, and my guts sank. I drove to her place. Her neighbor said she'd been hospitalized with a heart scare. I found her in the ICU, frail, hooked to monitors. Max had drawn her a picture, him, me, and Ruth under a rainbow, taped by her bed. When she saw us, her voice was weak but sharp. "Did Max finish his spelling list?" I laughed, throat tight, and told her she was family now. She tried to argue, said she didn't want to intrude. I wasn't having it. When Ruth recovered, we moved her into our spare room, a tiny space with a creaky bed, but Max decorated it with his art. We celebrated her 75th birthday with a diner party, Max sneaking extra bacon onto her plate. I'd gotten a promotion, and money wasn't a noose anymore. Ruth gave us stability, but we gave her a home, too. She still grumbles about my cooking, but lights up when Max calls her Aunt Ruth. Some strangers slip into your life and become the family you didn't know you needed.